Good morning. Thank you for joining me on this very special morning mindfulness. Merry Christmas. Today is December 25th, and if you are Christian, Merry Christmas, blessings of the season. We are celebrating the birth of the Christ child. Whether you believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, or in a higher power, universal energy, I want you to know that today is a day of special divine love and light. Feel it in every cell of your being. Know that you are taken care of, that you are where you're meant to be, and that you are God's highest form of creation. My wish for you is that you attain everything that you want in this lifetime. I'm using Rhonda Byrne's book, The Secret. And my mentor, Bob Proctor, was in the movie The Secret, and he's quoted throughout the book. But Rhonda Byrne says visualization is a process that has been taught by all the great teachers and avatars throughout the centuries, as well as by all the great teachers living today. In Charles Haanel's book, The Master Key System, written in 1912, he gives 24 weekly exercises to master visualization. And the complete Master Key System will also help you become the master of your thoughts. That's what I studied with Bob Proctor. That's what all the great teachers say, is to change your thoughts, change your life. Pay attention to what you're thinking and feeling, and you can create what you truly desire in your life. The reason visualization is so powerful is because as you create pictures in your mind of seeing yourself with what it is that you want, you are generating thoughts and feelings of having it now. When Bob Proctor talks about writing a goal and writing it every day, and perhaps writing it 100 times a day, he says to start with, I am so happy and grateful now that. So it is when you get so wrapped up in the feeling that it's real, your subconscious mind will look for evidence. You will create opportunities. Things will be attracted to you that you've never seen before. It will feel like a miracle. And it's only because you are so aligned. Your mind, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, you just know that what you want is yours. And when you're visualizing, you're emitting powerful frequency into the universe. The law of attraction, the law of vibrational energy, will take hold of that powerful signal and return those pictures back to you just as you saw them in your mind. Everything starts in the mind. When you can add emotion, when you can feel as if you've already accomplished your goal, it doesn't even matter that the material things show up, because you're so in alignment with what you want. You're so happy, healthy, feeling well-being. That frequency carries out beyond what you could possibly imagine. And then things start to flow to you, not only what you want, but even more good, even better things than you thought possible. Dr. Dennis Waitley in the book The Secret is quoted as saying, I took the visualization process from the Apollo program and instituted it during the 1980s and 90s into the Olympic program. It was called visual motor rehearsal. When you visualize, then you materialize. Here's an interesting thing about the mind. We took the Olympic athletes and had them run their event only in their mind, and then we hooked them up to sophisticated biofeedback equipment. Incredibly, the same muscles fired in the same sequence when they were running the race in their mind as when they were running it on the track. How could this be? Because the mind cannot distinguish whether you're really doing it or whether it's just a practice. If you've been there in the mind, you will go there in your body. Bob Proctor would say the same thing. When you get clear on what you really want, you feel as if you're already there. You spend time enjoying it in your mind, feeling as if it's already done, knowing it's yours, writing it out over and over and over with the feeling of gratitude for it already being. It must be created into physical form. That's how everything works. It starts in the mind. As you get ideas and take action, everything comes together. Think about the inventors and their inventions. The Wright brothers and the airplane, George Eastman and film, Thomas Edison and the light bulb, Alexander Graham Bell and the telephone. The only way anything has ever been invented or created is because one person saw a picture in his mind. He saw it clearly, and by holding that picture of the end result in his mind, all the forces of the universe brought his invention into the world through him. These men knew the secret. These were men who had utter faith in the invisible and who knew the power within them to leverage the universe and bring the invention into the visible. Their faith and their imagination have been the cause of the evolution of humankind, and we reap the benefits of their creative minds every single day. You might be thinking, well, I don't have a mind like these great inventors. You might be thinking, well, they could imagine those things, but I can't. You couldn't be further from the truth. You not only have the same mind that they have, but even more. Mike Dooley says when you're visualizing, when you've got that picture playing out in your mind, always and only dwell on the end result. Don't worry about the how. Don't think about what's the next step. You're thinking from the goal already attained, as Wayne Dyer would say, as from the wish fulfilled. What's it like now that you are experiencing what it is that you truly desire? Here's an example. Look at the back of your hands right now. Just really look at the back of your hands, the color of your skin, the freckles, the blood vessels, the rings, fingernails. Take in all those details. Right before you close your eyes, see those hands, your fingers wrapping around the steering wheel of your brand new car. This is such a holographic experience, so real in the moment that you don't even feel as if you need the car because it feels like you already have it. I know a person who rehearsed this over and over and over in his mind. The smell of the new car, the stitching on the leather steering wheel. And then when he drove around the city in his regular beat up car, he was imagining that he was driving the car of his dreams. And it didn't take long before he found a way to be driving that car that he imagined. He practiced, he rehearsed so much through visualization that it had to be his. When you get to such a place while you're visualizing that it feels a surprise as you open your eyes in the physical world, your visualization became real. But that state, that plane, is real. It is the field where everything is created. And the physical is just the result of the real field in all creation. That's why you won't feel as if you need it anymore, because you're tuned in and felt the real field of creation through your visualization. In that field, you have everything now. When you feel that, you will know it. Jack Canfield said it's the feeling that creates the attraction, not just the picture or the thought. A lot of people think if I think positive thoughts or if I visualize having what I want, that'll be enough. But if you're doing that and still not feeling abundant or feeling loving or joyful, then it doesn't create the power of the attraction. Bob Doyle said, you put yourself in the feeling place of really being in that car. Not, I wish I could get that car, or someday I'll have that car, because that's a very definite feeling associated with that, with not having it. It's not in the now, it's in the future. And if you stay in that feeling, it will always be in the future. Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith said, now that feeling and that inner seeing will begin to be an open doorway through which the power of the universe will begin to express. Alexander Graham Bell is quoted as saying, what this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists. Jack Canfield said, our job is not to figure out the how. The how will show up out of a commitment and a belief in the what. The hows are the domain of the universe. The universe always knows the shortest, quickest, fastest, most harmonious way between you and your dream. Now, it's funny because we can't tell how the universe is going to bring it to us. Our job is to practice thinking as if we're already there, feeling as if it's done, knowing that it's ours, deciding what we want, and practicing pretending that we have it. It's a deep and profound visualization exercise to just sit and use your imagination. And when you turn it over to the universe, you'll be surprised and dazzled by what is delivered to you. This is where the magic and miracles happen. But sometimes it comes out of the blue. Sometimes you have to work hard. Sometimes the universe brings it so quickly it shocks you. For example, the new car might come because you've had an accident with the old car. Or you might find a really good deal that you can't pass up. Or you earn the amount of money that you just know you can afford the car. The teachers of the secret are all aware of the elements you bring into play when you visualize. As you see the picture in your mind and feel it, you're bringing yourself to a place of believing you have it now. You're also implementing trust and faith in the universe because you are focusing on the end result and experiencing the feeling of that without giving any attention whatsoever to how it will come about. Your picture in your mind is seeing it as done. Your feelings are seeing it as done. Your mind and your entire state of being are seeing it as already happened. That is the art of visualization. Dr. Joe Vitale said, you want to do this virtually daily, but it should never be a chore. What's really important to the whole secret is feeling good. You want to feel exhilarated by this whole process. You want to be high, happy, in tune as much as possible. Everyone has the power to visualize. Let me prove it to you with a picture. Go into your kitchen and imagine in your mind, closing your eyes, Rhonda Byrne says, for this to work, first of all, you have to get all thoughts of your kitchen out of your mind. Do not think of your kitchen. Totally clear your mind of pictures of your kitchen with its cupboards, refrigerator, oven, tiles, color scheme. She's saying, don't think of your kitchen. But you saw a picture of your kitchen in your mind, didn't you? That means you just visualized. Everyone visualizes whether he knows it or not. And visualizing is the great secret of success. Dr. John Demartini shares that if you create a static picture in your mind, it can be difficult to hold that picture. So he suggests that you create a lot of movement in your picture. Imagine your kitchen again, and this time imagine yourself entering the kitchen, walking to the fridge and putting your hand on the door handle, opening the door, looking inside and finding a cold bottle of water. Reach in and grab it. You can feel the coldness on your hand as you grasp the bottle. You have the bottle of water in one hand and you're using your other hand to close the refrigerator door. Now that you're visualizing your kitchen with detail and movement, it's easier to see it and hold the picture. Genevieve Behrend says, we all possess more power and greater possibilities than we realize. And visualizing is one of the greatest of these powers. The only difference between people who live this way, who live in the magic of life, and those who don't, is that the people who live in the magic of life have habitual ways of being. They've made a habit of using the law of attraction, and magic happens with them wherever they go because they remember to use it. They use it all the time, not just as a one-time event. Now you can imagine Christmases past. If you have a strong memory of a certain Christmas, maybe you were a child, you can remember opening your favorite toy and playing with it and being so overwhelmed with joy that Santa brought you that present that you really wanted. Christmas may be a time of of grieving and sorrow, if there are family members that are missing, or if you're alone and lonely, you can do the visualization exercise to get you into a happy, beautiful, joyful place. It might be this Christmas, it might be a Christmas from your childhood, or one with a special person in your life. When you get into that feeling, you can project that so that as you believe, you receive. There may be love in your heart for people who are not with you at this time, but you can feel their presence just by visualizing spending time with them and visualizing so that you feel happy and joyful, not more missing out. Genevieve Beran says, nothing can prevent your picture from coming into concrete form except the same power which gave it birth, and that is yourself. I'll tell you a story that is in Rhonda Byrne's book, The Secret, that demonstrates the powerful law of attraction and the immaculate matrix of the universe in action. There was a woman named Jeannie who bought a DVD of The Secret, and she was watching it at least once a day so she would absorb the message right into the cells of her body. She was particularly impressed with Bob Proctor, and she thought it would be wonderful to meet him. One morning, Jeannie collected her mail, and to her utter amazement, the mailman had accidentally delivered Bob Proctor's mail to her address. What Jeannie didn't know is that Bob Proctor lived just 4 blocks away from her. Not only that, but Jeannie's house number was the same as Bob Proctor's. She immediately took the mail to deliver it to the correct address. Can you imagine her utter delight when the door opened and Bob Proctor was standing before her? Bob is rarely at home. He travels all over the world teaching. But the matrix of the universe knows only perfect timing. From Jeannie's thought of how wonderful it would be to meet Bob Proctor, the law of attraction moved people, circumstances, and events throughout the universe so that it happened. There's another story, a 10-year-old boy named Colin who had seen and loved the movie The Secret. Colin's family made a week-long visit to Disney World, and on their first day, they experienced long lines at the park. So that night, just before Colin fell asleep, he thought, tomorrow I'd love to go on all the big rides and never have to wait in line. The next morning, Colin and his family were at the gates of Epcot Center as the park opened, and a Disney staff member approached and asked if they would be Epcot's first family of the day. As first family, they would be given VIP status, a special escort by a staff member, and walk-on passes for every big ride in Epcot. It was everything and more that Colin had wished for. Hundreds of families were waiting to enter Epcot that morning, but Colin didn't have the slightest doubt as to why his family had been chosen first family. He knew it was because he had used the secret. Imagine discovering at the age of 10 that the power to move worlds lies within you. What is it that you truly desire in your life. Imagination is everything. It is a preview of life's coming attractions. That is Albert Einstein. He believed that imagination was more powerful than intelligence. You can let your imagination go wild. You can use a vision board and place pictures of all the things that you want and pictures of how you want your life to be. If you do that, put your vision board in a place where you see it and look at it. Spend time with it every day. Feel the feelings of having those things now. As you receive and feel grateful for receiving, you can remove the pictures on your vision board and add new ones. This is a wonderful way to introduce children to the law of attraction. Yesterday, I talked about gratitude and expectation. Gratitude is a powerful process for shifting your energy and bringing more of what you want into your life. Be grateful for what you already have, and you will attract more good things. Giving thanks for what you want in advance turbocharges your desires and sends a more powerful signal out into the universe. Expectation is a powerful attractive force. Expect the things you want and don't expect the things you don't want. Visualization is the process of creating pictures in your mind of yourself enjoying what you want. When you visualize, you generate powerful thoughts and feelings of having it now. The law of attraction then returns that reality to you just as you saw it in your mind. To use the law of attraction to your advantage, make it a daily, habitual way of being, not just a one-time event. And at the end of every day, before you go to sleep, go back through the events of the day. Any moments or events that were not how you wanted them to go, replay them in your mind the way you wanted them to go. Rehearse this, practice it, and you will be amazed at how your thinking changes, how you feel about life, the different actions that you take, and the results that show up in your life. Have a wonderful day. Create a joyful, Merry Christmas. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.